Well, good afternoon. We are live, and let's see here live. We're gonna refresh this, turn this on, and I won't worry about that other. It should be okay. All right, so go up here. Welcome to Stunt Hangar Video Hangout. I think we're live, and we'll wait for some people to come in and do what they do. I'm working on carbon fiber perkies. This is one half of the wing that mates to this half, but this is a mold. I haven't finished. I'm going to finish it up during this outing. This mold here matches this mold here. As soon as I get some more glass on this, which I have the buck, uh, it's in PVA right now. We'll put 4 or 5 more layers of glass on this during this meeting here. So if you got something you'd like to talk about or discuss, go to Stunt Hangar, and let's see here. It's posted on At the Bench. Okay, we need to do this. Get up the this and see if we got any chatters. I want to edit this. We got 3 viewers, 6 concurrent. I don't know how that works, but whatever. Let's turn this on, and we'll save that. I got some new products I put in the store, and I ordered another one of these little vacuum pumps. These scissors are the coolest. I love them. They work so good, and you'll get a demonstration of them tonight. But this here, I got a phone call from Brett Williams. This here is an aquarium air pump, and when you get it, you take it apart and turn the diaphragms 180, and it becomes a vacuum pump. Now it doesn't suck down the bag quick enough. Like this bag takes forever to suck down. So I use my Harbor Freight pump to suck it down real quick, and then I unplug it and plug this one in, and it maintains it. Because for some reason the bags will not hold a vacuum. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe somebody else has got a better idea, but the bags, they don't hold a vacuum. But I'm having fun with this. It's I will have parts at Rodex. I'm not sure I'll have a full kit, but I will have at least the wings done by Rodex. This mold came out better than the first one. Got a spot right here I'm going to sand. But you want this perfect. I don't want to have to monkey with it. Let me get this 400 paper and we'll sand it. I ordered some more sand. I got it. Well, I think it is in my store, the sandpaper. So if the bump is sticking up on this, it'll be sticking down on the part. If it's sticking in, it'll be sticking up. So you got to make it as perfect as possible. Come on, Gary, you're the first one in normally. There we go. I wish I could get one of these to come out perfect the first time without any mistakes, but I just ain't good enough. This is close, but not perfect. So what I'm talking about is right here. There was a little bump sticking up. We can't have that. So I'm gonna get some 1,000 grit, then 2,000, so et cetera, and we'll polish it out. Of course, I'm gonna prime this anyway, but this is 1,200. That'll work. Yeah, we don't want to cut sandpaper with my new electric scissors. They work so good, I don't want to screw them up. Of course, they do come with an extra blade, and they're not very expensive. $26, I think I paid for it. Shoot, if it was very expensive, I couldn't afford it. Well, maybe we're going to give up the hangouts altogether if nobody wants to come on. Okay, there we go. Water. Yep, we got somebody, Brent Williams. Yeah, they don't do very good as far as numbers go. That's the only problem.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Steve.
Who are you talking to?
Brett Williams.
Oh, I didn't see anybody else in the hangout.
No, there's nobody in the hangout.
Oh, it looks like you're making some progress.
Not really.
No?
No, I'm having a heck of a time.
Hmm.
I mean, I will have some parts done,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. The park open yet?
It's open.
But unflyable.
I don't think so.
But unflyable.
Might be flooding again. At least the part closest to the where it comes in initially. Supposed to get up to 19.5 feet Wednesday, I think.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't start. It starts flooding at 19 feet, but it comes in that uh can't think of it's over there by the RC field.
Merrimack River.
Well, it is the Merrimack, yeah, but it comes up a creek or something. I don't know exactly where.
Make sure you call before you come over tomorrow. I might be asleep.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
All
been
right.
sleeping well. I haven't been able to get to bed till 3 to 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Is that because of what you're working on, or?
I don't know. I think it's because I've been inside for so many.
Yeah,
Weather's been so shitty.
yes, it has. Wednesday actually looked possible, but they're not going to have that mud cleared off. I don't know if the rain yesterday washed enough of it off or not. I mean, we had quite a bit of rain. I guess I might charge a couple batteries and head out there just to see.
When?
Wednesday.
Sometime the vacuum fittings leak. You can put modeling clay around the fitting. The C-channel method is sometimes leaky also. Acrylic latex caulk and tape folded over is pretty leak proof. Okay.
You're getting some info on the
On the
vacuum
back,
bagging.
yeah. Okay, let's run through a rundown of how this molding crap works. It's first you have to make the part. You have to make the part, which is the plug that you want to do. Then you put it on a board similar to this. This is the parting board. You get a top and a bottom. This is the bottom. And the other one is the top. This one is the top. And then you gotta wax it, prime it, wax it, PVA it, and lay your layup on it to make the mold, which you get this part. I mean, you got to build it 3 times. You get this part. This is the mold. It came off the bottom one just like this. Then you lay in your glass, resin, etc., and you get this part. Then after this part is done, going to go around the outside of it with tow, sand it flat. I'm going to put the 2 molds together and drill them so you can bolt it, and that'll join them. That'll allow the epoxy to dry. So that's the wing. Then the fuselage is you make a part, you put it on a parting board, and you make one of these. This is the bottom. No, this is the top. I had a mark. I can't tell. Anyway, I mean, it's been 3 weeks of work to go.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about this kind of work is you got to wait for shit to dry.
Mm-hmm.
Here or whatever. I don't know what happened to it. But I'll get it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind I'm going to get it. I asked Dan if he messes with Perky, and he said that he's got Gary Frost's old Perky, but he doesn't mess with him.
What are most of them made of now?
balsa
Or
wood.
just balsa?
Yeah. I'm just drying the PVA here so we can carry on. The polyester resin dries quick, quick,
Oh,
quick. You got to get the hump on. You got 12 minutes to get it done and get it in the bag.
oh, wow. Oh, John Miller.
Hi, how you guys doing?
All right.
Got a good question, Sparky. Are you stopping the Friday night ones?
We we didn't do it because of Good Friday,
Okay, that's
but I might stop them all together. I mean, if only 2 or 3 guys show up, they're not real successful as far as the numbers go.
I understand that. There is a small cadre though that do show up. Anyway, but if we know that it's not going to happen, then we won't get all hopped up to be there.
Yeah.
Just look on Stunt Hangar. We might cut them back to, once a month or twice a month or whatever.
I think you probably lose your following if you do that.
They're not following anyway.
Well, there's a lot of people that do watch, whether it's here or on the
YouTube.
what is it on
You forget that
YouTube.
I have access to the numbers. I know exactly how many people watch and what age group watches, and it's not that impressive. It's terrible.
You're not getting the TikTok crowd.
No,
Why is it?
this is a dying deal. I mean, nobody wants to play with this stuff. I mean, us old guys do. I'll tell you. I'll give you percentages here. Let's see. We want to go here and go back to studio, and I'll do the demographics and analytics. Here we are. Audience. Let's see. We want to do age groups. Trends. I got to get up to the TV to see what I'm doing.
Oh, you checking the trends crowd?
No, no, no.
I didn't know we had any of them.
Yeah, it's a big demographic,
Yeah.
There's only 13.2% that come on here with the notifications on. So everybody turn on, when you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And let's see, subscribed is 61%, not subscribed is 38%. Age and gender, here we go. Female 0%, male 100%.
Of course.
I'm not
13 to
surprised.
17, 13 to 17, 0, 18 to 24, 0, 25 to 34, 0, 35 to 44, 0, 45 to 54, 0, 55 to 64, 30%,
Hmm.
65 plus 69%.
Wow.
So this is
We're the only ones with free time on a Friday night.
you're not getting it. That's my entire channel for the.
No, I understand. I was just making a
Oh,
joke.
that's everything?
That's everything. The
All
only
your-
guys, the only guys who watch my channel are old.
Okay.
My dog's barking. That's my doorbell. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
So you slowly getting better there, Phil?
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. I just I got to figure out what to do about this groin pull, but I'm getting there. It's right now they're having me ice it. That's
Hmm.
that's
That's
uncomfortable.
not pleasant.
No, it's not pleasant.
Oh man.
But anyway, I won't
Or
be
it's not
bowling
like
for a
sitting
while,
in a
that's for
bath of
certain.
ice water like them athletes do.
Oh no, it's just take a bag of liquid cold or liquid whatever
Yeah.
you call it. You put it on there 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes it pretty well warms up.
Yeah.
But you have to put a towel across your, and then you put a light sheet or something under so you're not putting that directly on your skin. And
Mm.
you just take it as long as you can stand it, which is about 5 minutes, and I'm ready to get up. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try whatever they tell me right now because this mess hurts.
Yeah. Bob, I do have a question about the material you're using.
Okay,
So you're using fiberglass and you're using carbon fiber.
correct.
Is that the same way they build the race car bodies?
The way I'm doing this right now is the same way they do boats.
Boats. Oh, okay.
This is the mold. The,
And
the
then
way,
what's the
Race car bodies are done the same way.
and then that stuff you put on after you make the layers.
that's peel ply so that the bags and stuff don't stick to everything.
Oh, okay.
And that other cloth that I put on is the breather.
Is what?
The breather. It sucks up all the resin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw you using those scissors. Are those new?
Do what?
Those scissors, are they new?
Yes.
And it's battery?
Yes.
Wow. Should take a look at those.
That looks too easy.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
I saw him at Wix doing it. I go, where'd you get those? They said Amazon. I said, perfect.
Oh, okay. Did you put it on your store?
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes, I did.
All right. Check that out.
I spoke to Jeff Riley last night on the phone. We had a nice conversation. He's feeling a lot better. He went through some cancer problems. That's why he's been
Jeff,
gone. Well, no,
I
no,
did not know that.
this, what do you mean again? It's been like a year or two that he's been working on this. But anyway, he's back. His right arm, he says he has to fly, he has to hold his arm like this,
Hmm.
because of the, it's not, anyway. But he's committed, and he and I are both committed. I've got a little Ellie on the board that's been sitting there for 2-3 years unfinished. And he's got a little cub, Rodak cub, which is a 15-20 sized Gieske bear.
Hmm.
He's committed to finishing that, and I'm committed to finishing the little Ellie to fly it at the contest in November at Nevada in Las Vegas. So
Cool deal.
he sounded really, really excited about it. So I'm looking forward to it. I need to get something to build a fire under my butt to get me moving again.
Hmm.
Well,
Gets
good luck with
harder every
that.
day.
The
Good
thing is,
luck with
that
that.
little Ellie, all it is it's exactly what it says it is. It's a little Ellie, the Pathfinder LE.
Mm-hmm.
Just has a different wing construction, and it's not a trike gear; it's a tail dragger.
Well, that I didn't know.
I know you didn't know that because I didn't tell nobody.
Ah, well, I've got a Pathfinder downstairs that's a tail dragger.
Do you? Profile?
Yeah, the one I've been flying is a tail dragger. I didn't build it, but it was given to me. I wanted something to put a 51 on. I wanted to see if I could fly a 51.
Yeah,
And one of the
Gordon
fellows gave
put
it to me.
51 on his new one.
Well, I tell you one thing, that thing flies with a 51, but I'm not really into 51s anymore. I mean, the 51 is a great engine, and I've got a new plane coming. A friend gave me a 51 at Brodak last year, and it will be going on a Gypsy.
Nice.
But I'm not building not planning on building a whole lot of IC airplanes now that I've gotten electric going and finally somewhat figured out how to make it work.
Yep.
Now, I didn't say I had it. I didn't say I knew what I was doing, but I'm finally figured out enough to where I can go out and feel like I can get a few flights in. Uh, I'm playing with electric more than anything else, but I will still have IC motors in my old timers and classics. I built an electric old timer. I shouldn't say that. I converted an old timer to electric, and it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right.
Doesn't sound right.
How you going to compete for the Spirit of 52 when you got an electric motor? I mean, seriously. I just
Well, you can put a little sound audio card on the airplane and
nah,
play the sound of a Merlin
no,
12 cylinder on it.
no. I'm going back to. I got my boxcar Chief out and cleaned it up. I'm recovering the wing where a bicycle fell against it at Brodak and messed it up. And I'm going to fix it and start flying it again and playing with it. And I'm going to finish up. I'm rebuilding rebuilding a barnstormer that I got from a friend, and it was a good airplane for him, but I'm having to just about completely restore it. I had to take the fuel tank out of it. It was built in, and oh Lord, that was a
Yeah.
major pain in the butt,
Yeah.
but I got it finally. Sparky was right. Little acetone will eat that uh, glue out of there. I forgot the name of the glue now. Ambroid. Will
Android,
eat that,
yeah.
soften it up enough I was able to push it out. But it wasn't an easy push. I had to put about everything I had on it. I was amazed that the balsa didn't break, but it came out. But anyway,
Well, yeah. Well, sounds good. So what's your plans on that? How you gonna, what's your schedule?
I darn fine know. I'm working on if I ever get a day that I can paint. Today again was windy. The rest of the week is supposed to be rain. Um, I'm planning on finishing the humongous. Then I've got a Colossus in there I need to cover and paint. It's ready for cover and paint. I'm just too lazy to do it. Then I've got when I finally finish that one, that's the one I didn't want to tell anybody about until I had it far enough along I could say it was done because it's the first time I've had an I-beam wing that stayed straight. It's the first I-beam wing I've had that's staying straight so far. So far, I'll qualify that. But I've got three others hanging down there, but one of them, the spar looks like that. USA one, the spar looks like an S. But I mean, the wing's built. I don't know how in the world the thing twisted after the wing was built, but when I left Bill Little's house with it, it was perfect. And I got it home and it sat down there for a couple of weeks while I went on vacation. And I come back and I got an S curve. I said, something don't feel right about this. But anyway,
Well, you
I
just
tell
don't
you,
know, right?
yeah, must not be. Must have done something to tick somebody off.
You know, I got
Anyway,
since I realistically looking at things, I don't expect I'll ever be a challenge to the what we call the varsity team out here.
oh
You know,
God, I know I'll never be.
well,
I've
no,
watched them.
but because of that, I've decided I'm going to have some fun with some of these airplanes. You know,
That's
and
what I'm thinking.
one of them I'm going to build is for sheer fun, because it was my second big airplane, and I'm going to build it where I can get it light and put what I know about things now that I didn't know back then into it and fly it in classic. I can't fly it in old time, even though it should be able to, but I can't. But I'll
What
fly
is
it in
it?
classic. It's a Super Ringmaster.
Oh yeah.
But I think what I'm going to do is the wing's going to be an I-beamer, and
Yeah.
take some weight off of it that way. And
Hmm.
the fuselage sides are going to be uh, 16ths, that is balsa that's been strategically strengthened in areas. And
Hmm.
I I built one back in 1962 that I had the landing gear coming out of the wings, wing gear instead
Hmm.
of fuselage. So I'm going to put that on it. And
Well, that ain't fair. You got to build it just like it came from Sterling with walnut, light ply.
Walnut.
is Gilbert's built like it came from the factory? I
God,
don't
I'm telling you,
think so.
Joe Gilbert could fly
Get
a
it.
brick.
Use every trick you know to get it as light as you can, and then
Yeah.
on a Super Ringmaster, you don't have those 6 ounces of paint. You got 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what. I think that sounds like a wonderful idea. I'm thinking about building one that was my first, or it was my second big airplane. It's called a Panther.
Oh, I know the Panther. Somebody
Well,
was selling
I'm
a
gonna
kit
be,
of it. It was a High Johnson design, I think.
yeah.
And
There was two versions of it, the High Johnson and the Midwest, and I've got the Midwest. The
well, I
High
think
Johnson has a
Midwest.
real skinny wing,
Yeah, I
and
thought
I don't have
Midwest
that
bought
one.
it from High Johnson is what they did, I
I
think.
think you're right. I think you're right. But Midwest version had a bigger wing, and it had the fuselage was more robust. And I don't know. I bought one from George's Hobby Shop, $25 with a McCoy Red Hat 35 on it. And I flew that thing all one summer and went out there one day and was taking off, showing off for some friends. And the wind got that thing and took it behind me. I said, "Where the heck did that come from?"
Mm.
I had not noticed a gust of wind. I've flown the Ringmaster 2 or 3 times, never noticed any gust of wind.
Well, that's called a
But,
thermal.
well, I'll tell you one thing, that thing came through and that airplane just sideways, went over and
Yeah.
pancaked, inverted on the other side of the circle. What the heck is that all about? I was sitting there trying my darndest to get it back. I couldn't.
Well, so let me
About
ask you though. You say it's
broke
got
my
a
heart.
relatively thin wing, and so does the
Yeah.
Super Ringmaster. If you really get down to it, it's
Yeah.
got to think about a 12 or 13% airfoil. They used to fly those. If you look at the Madman, I think had a fairly thin wing. The Dragon
Hmm.
had a fairly thin wing.
No, Dragon's not thin. Madman's not thin. For an old timer, it's a thick wing. I've got a Madman downstairs, and I've
Is
got
that right?
a Dragon 56 downstairs, and Madman 56 downstairs kit. And
Hmm.
now the Madman is fairly thin, but not like you'd think of for thin.
Okay.
Hmm,
Okay.
it's pretty good. It's not 2 inches, but it's a good
Yeah.
inch and a half.
Well, I'm misremembering on that, but there's a lot of those old timers were right around 12, 13,
A
14% or
lot of the early
less.
ones were. Yeah.
And they would manage to fly them. But of course, the maneuvers were different in those days, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
But
The Hotter Net was one that got me in trouble. I built one and took it to Tucson, and I kept trying to fly the thing slow. And finally, Mr. Jim Lee came up to me and he says, "Philip, that airplane was never intended to fly slow." And Jim had won old time with it the year before.
right.
And he says, "It was never intended to fly slow. That's the one thing it won't do. Turn the wick up." So I went from a 5 pitch prop to a 6 pitch prop. Knew I wasn't going to do anything, but I went ahead and just ran it up 9,600 RPM. I said, well, this is going to be quick. That thing came off the ground. It was 5 feet high so quick. You know, I was known for corkscrewing up on takeoff. That thing went off the ground with burp. Whoa, mama, come back here. But anyway, we didn't score so well, but I did have a lot more fun with it after. I did win a contest with it before my dog jumped on it and destroyed it. Scooter put it out of my misery for me. Oh,
I put my
boy.
own out of misery. Dang it.
Well,
Well,
we had a Pomeranian puppy and we were keeping her in the kitchen with cardboard. And Scooter would just jump the cardboard, you know. He was a little rat terrier and best dog I ever had. But he jumped that cardboard and I had laid that airplane in the kitchen with the airplane and somebody needed some help with something. And I laid the airplane down. And Scooter came in and saw me and came running in to see me. And he jumped the cardboard and you could just see the look in his eyes as he's pedaling backwards, trying to stop. Crunch down on that airplane.
oh,
Put that thing out of my misery. Oh,
well, you know, I think the Nobler, the original Nobler, was like
skinny wing.
14%, I think.
I don't know the percentage,
It
but
was,
that was skinny.
I'm pretty sure the green box though was about 16%.
Yeah, 16 or 18. Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
wasn't
pretty
18.
good.
It wasn't 18, but it was.
Okay,
It
it's
was
pretty
16.
good wing. I got one downstairs I'm working on right now, trying to restore it.
Yeah. Well, it is a pretty good wing if you power it and use it like it was designed for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But you know, how many people do that?
yeah,
Well, so
really.
it's overpowered. I was thinking, what would I power that Super Ringmaster with? I was thinking about it. Oh, wait a minute, because you know it's short in the nose. You can't put a big tank in there.
Yeah,
And I thought, oh, an OS-25 FP would fit in there
exactly.
just fine and have plenty of power.
Yeah,
Have
it
more
would.
power than Fox 35.
You know, I had the hardest time getting people to believe that. I
I know.
mean, the hardest time. Somebody came over here and gave me an OS-25, and the only thing I had to put it on was a barnstormer I had. It's hanging downstairs now. I couldn't remember what it was. It's a barnstormer. So I put it on the barnstormer, took it out in the backyard, and I just want to see what it would do. Thing flew better than it ever flew with a Fox 35.
Oh yeah,
So I
Jimmy
took it
Road.
and
Go
I
ahead.
told Tommy and the guys about it, and everybody thought I was out of my mind. And then a year or two later, there's hardly anybody flying a Fox 35. Everybody's flying OS-25s and Brodak 40s.
Yep.
Tommy's got an All-American Senior with a Brodak 40 on it that, I mean, flies well. And it's not a light All-American. He didn't
Jimmy
build it.
Rhodes had an All-American
Yeah.
that he put an OS-25 FP in it, and
Mm-hmm.
he flew the hell out of that airplane, and it flew well, really good for him. You
Yeah.
know, it was, you know, he's thinking about building another one with the same setup, you know.
I'm thinking about building one too, and it will be an OS-25. It will
Yeah.
not be a darn Fox. There's a Fox going on my new barnstormer only because it's built to kind of to honor. I've got 2 or 3 airplanes I'm building or rebuilding to kind of remember friends, and this is one of them. He always used a Fox, so I'm gonna put a Fox on this one. But personally, I would put the OS on it. I'm just not a Fox kind of guy. That's the first time I flew a Fox again after years of not flying a Fox. I couldn't believe 2 things: how little power the thing had and how much oil it put out.
Yeah, yeah,
Good
that's the
grief.
truth. That is definitely the truth.
Man, that thing was just covered in oil. Gracious day. But
Not
anyway,
knowing any better when I was a kid, we didn't clean our airplanes off except maybe after maybe 10 or 20 flights, and that oil would be on there so quick. I think we actually wound up on part of that wing had really an 18% airfoil, you know.
yeah, but it was so sticky.
It was sticky.
Good gracious.
Grass would stick on it, you know.
Yeah. I had an airplane did that. We went to Canton, Georgia, and the plane took off, and when it landed, I couldn't believe it. The whole bottom wing was just covered in grass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, my word, I know they clipped the grass this morning, but this is ridiculous. So washed it off and went and got some spray polish and polished the thing. Didn't matter. That wax just that grass and that combination of the wet grass and the wing, it just stuck to it. I don't know why, but it was doing it to everybody.
Yeah.
Even Trans Electric was doing it, and I thought, good grief, man, this is weird. Never experienced that before. But that was the stickiest grass I'd ever seen. And you come out of the field and your feet are just green.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
neat.
When I was a kid, we used to fly at the schoolyard, and on Saturdays, on Saturday morning, they cut the grass.
Yeah.
So, we always, our planes come out, they look like they had grass mat on them. They were
Hmm.
green. Didn't matter what color you painted them, they were green when you left the field.
Yeah. I finally remember I've needed to ask you a question for a couple of weeks. I'm cutting the fuselage. Well, I have cut the rear fuselage. The fuselage for the Pathfinder 40 is long.
Yes.
It's a long fuselage.
Yeah.
So I cut from the high point back, and then I'm cutting the nose. Well, I
Okay.
got to looking at how long that back is, and I thought, that's an awfully short nose with a electric system. That's an awfully short nose. Should I extend that thing an inch or half an inch or something?
Well, I would think so.
How
I've
much?
never
You
done that.
designed the thing. What do you think?
Well, I designed it for an OS 40 FP,
I know. And with an
and
OS 40, it'll probably balance.
yeah, it balanced with that. So what you can figure, the weight of a 40 FP with a what what? Let me look, see what muffler I had on it. Oh, okay. I had a muffler that was a Franken muffler that started out with a Canby 28 and used the Canby 45 will match up to the muffler lugs on a
Hmm.
on an OS 40 FP. So we had this small can. We took all the guts out of it, all the baffles in that, and just ran it straight through.
Yeah.
And then we made it up, honed it a little bit, and made it up the 45 size thing to the 28 size muffler. It's a nice light muffler, worked very well. But
Yeah.
it has a muffler. Didn't have a tongue muffler. So
Yeah.
you can kind of estimate the weight, and then here's the formula. It's the weight times the length from the CG. So what you want to do is you lay it out. You start from the nose, that's the positive. So it's weight times the length. See, weight times the weight times the weight times the distance times the length plus the next thing, a major component of weight you want is the same thing, weight times the distance times the length plus when you get to the CG point, it now switches over to minus numbers. And so what you do,
Oh,
it's called balancing the moments. And
yeah.
what you do is you go through that, adding them up and that, and if you come out at zero, it balances.
Okay.
If you come out at a plus number, you got to add some length to the nose, and you can figure with the weights you got, you figure how much weight you're going to put on there. You can figure out what length you need to put on the front to balance out the back,
Hmm.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Excuse me, or vice versa. So it's just you can look it up, or have AI look it up for you. Called balancing the moments. You know,
Yeah.
but it is weight times the distance, and it's I'm sure it's times the length or distance. Weight times the distance. Well, that's it. You, forget anything else. Weight times the distance plus weight times the distance.
Pretty scientific. I just go, yep, that looks about right.
Yeah, you can do that if you want, but let's say you got a plane that you got balanced, and you've got a engine in there that weighs, say, maybe 12 ounces, and you find yourself an engine that's more powerful and does the job even better, but it only weighs 8 ounces. Okay, how much further do you have to mount the engine out to get it to balance?
1 inch. Oh,
No, not necessarily.
okay.
Might be 1 3/4 inches.
Oh,
And this little formulation works. It only takes you a few minutes on a hand calculator. This formulation works. I had a stagger wing beach that I had, and I had one of those big Wankel engines on it, which is real heavy. It was on almost 20 ounces for the engine and the muffler, and it was trimmed really well. It would do the pattern and a whole bit. It was a nice little biplane. But I decided I wanted to get all that weight out of there and go to a lighter engine. So I went to a GP42, a Thunder Tiger GP42. So I took the weight of the two, and I said, okay, it balances this. How much nose do I have to put on it? It came out as like 2.5 inches. Put that on there, and it balanced exactly on the money. I didn't have to change anything on the trim. So,
Yeah.
and it only takes a few minutes to do it with a hand calculator. It doesn't take
Yeah, I
that long.
figured out then. I figured out then. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a 2826 in it. So I figured since it's a 40 size airplane, I don't need a 3515. I'm gonna put a
No,
2826 in it and
28,
4
26
cells.
will be more than enough.
Yeah,
5
put
cell
that
or
in
4?
4. I'm gonna try it on 4. If I need 5, if I need more weight, I'll put 5. I've
Okay.
got plenty of 5 cell batteries and I'm not using them, so it wouldn't hurt me to put them in there. But
Right.
I think I've got 6 or 8 of them, and I have not used one yet. So everything I fly is either 4 or 6. But we're
Well,
gonna
I think you're
try to
thinking
get
right
something going.
on the motor. I think you're thinking right.
Yeah, yeah, it's big enough. It's big enough to put the 35 in, but it's just
Right.
there's just no
You know,
need.
now
It's
I
too much
flew
weight.
mine on an OS 40 FP that
Yeah.
Gordon did a little trimming and working on.
Well, he didn't make it more powerful. He just gave it some manners.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But so 35, you may, unless you're running a high speed, low pitch, 35
No.
may have a bit of, well, 28, 25 is pretty powerful. That's as good as a 40 anyway.
Yeah, 2820 would probably do it, but I have a 2826 that I'm not using right now. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna put that in it.
yeah,
So,
I
and I
see
know
where
it runs good because I had it in my Nobler.
there you go. That should
Look
work.
at boy, Sparky he's gotten into this now. He's figured
He's
this
going
thing
to
out.
town on that.
Yeah, he is. He's figured this thing out.
I hope he can sell 100 of them.
I doubt it.
That'd be nice.
Be
Yeah,
nice though.
be nice to see him stay busy for a while. Have something he has to get
Oh,
done.
yeah, he doesn't have anything better.
Oh
to
no,
No,
he don't
nothing
have
better
he
to
don't
do,
he
no.
don't he sits around, don't do nothing.
Just sits
Oh,
around
man.
there. Yeah.
I tell you
Eating
what, if
bonbons.
I don't know if Sparky, if he was to slow down and try to do nothing, I think he'd drive himself crazy.
Yeah.
He stays busy. He's always working on something.
I used to be that way.
I was that way, but it wasn't by choice.
I think it's going to take
We-
another coat of glass, another layer.
Oh, wow.
How about running some tow from, maybe from the wingtip to wingtip?
That's not the problem. I need some weight behind it. I need it so it doesn't twist.
Gotcha.
Uh,
This is this wing here has toe in it. It has ribs in it. like this, and then a spar goes across.
Uh-huh.
And it's all right when it's a little flexy here, but when I put the top on, it'll be locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got it kind of
I
like
didn't
a
realize they were
truss
that
as
little.
far as it laid out.
18-inch wingspan.
Yeah, I didn't remember them being that little, but I know they get out of Dodge in a quick hurry.
I sure would like to know what one weighs so I can see how minimal I can get them. This is 2 layers of carbon and 2 layers of half-ounce cloth. It weighs 1.5 ounces. I'd like to know what a wood one weighs and how much the airplane weighs. But this
Well,
thing here will be able to do a cartwheel.
there's certainly a lot of guys that have been flying them. Someone ought to be able to weigh it for you or give you those weights.
Yeah.
Pagani's wing is a solid wing with their lead outs routed out and then covered with plywood and fiberglass. This will be a hollow wing, but carbon fiber.
Uh-huh.
There's a bunch of those guys flying those things, especially at Brodak. Just I doubt seriously you're gonna get the project finished before Brodak at this late date, but when you
It's
go to
like
Brodak, go over on the hill and watch those guys because it is fascinating.
it's like a beehive up there.
I will be taking parts. I will have some parts done before Rodak.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
Hi, Roy.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome.
I'll tell you one thing, if you go over on that hill, you just can't help but get interested. It's 20 guys running around like a mad beehive, and they're all trying to make this little bitty airplane go faster. And the thing's already going, choo! I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's as fast as a 440, you know.
I think it is. It's as fast. It's fast. I think it's faster than a Goodyear racer. And I grew up watching those things, and oh man, Bulldog and Lee Cleveland used to fly Goodyear every Saturday at Hobby Park.
Can you guys hear
And
this pump running?
no,
No,
Okay, good.
No.
and I mean those things were quick. And then I thought they were pretty quick. Then I saw rat racers, and I thought they were pretty quick. And then I saw the Perky. Forget the other stuff. The dang Perky it's seriously dangerous.
Mhm.
Those things take off and go so quick. If you don't get out of the dang way when you let go of it, you're liable to get hit. They are spooky quick.
Jimmy Rhodes used to have the record for Formula 40, and I watched him fly that plane here in one of our local contests. And that thing was just unbelievable. It was doing about 140, 150 miles an hour. I know they're faster now, but that's what it was then. And that was god awful fast then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those Perkies are hitting right around 140, 150.
120.
120?
Yeah.
That's
You
still
got to
got
remember they got a little bitty motor.
Yeah, yeah.
They just
They
got a
got
little bitty
15
motor.
or
52 foot.
Yeah.
they got a 15 in them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand why when everybody takes off, they've got their arm fully extended and they fly it with their arm fully extended. If it were me, unless they tell me that I cannot do it, I would have my hand at my chest. Because that's
Well,
how
don't
I
you
flew
have
my
to
mouse
drop
racer.
it in? Don't you have to drop it into the
No,
stand?
Not
there's not one
not
there.
Perky. No, not
Oh,
the
okay.
Perky.
Okay.
I used to take off with
Yeah,
with a
I'd suck it
mouse
in
racer.
too, but in that case.
I pulled it and I was the tallest one out there. So I stand like this and just fly the thing and just pivot around. I mean, we already had as fast a one as there was out there, but when we staying in one place, it was like it picked up, I don't know how many miles an hour, but we generally were one of the quicker ones. Till we raced Bulldog and Lee. And then we found out they're running fuel that was much warmer than what we were running. Man, there was 2 people I had trouble with, Bulldog and Lee. They had some hot stuff. And then another guy here and his daughter were bad news, buddy. They were quick. They went to the Nationals and won the Nationals with it. Dadgummit. I know him and I can't think of his name. Anyway, senior moment. What am I telling? What can I tell
You know
you?
what, Phil? You
What's
need to
that?
get a summer home out here where I'm at. It was day to day was about 65, 70 degrees. No wind, beautiful, no clouds in the sky. Just
Mm.
gorgeous day. And we've got another one. We had one yesterday. We got a couple more coming tomorrow, in the next through the week.
Yesterday was about 85. Today was 86, but the wind would take a hat off your head.
Mm.
It's just been,
I'm
it's
looking out there.
ridiculous.
The trees that I can see are hardly moving at all.
Well,
Got
I
first-
thought the trees were hardly moving. In fact, I went to lunch Saturday, and the first thing I said when I got there, gentlemen, we screwed up and missed a really nice flying day. And everybody looked at me like I'd lost my mind. But here, I didn't see any trees moving. I didn't see a darn thing. I mean, it was just quiet here. But I stopped by Hobby Park on the way home, and it was, as Lynn would say, blowing a hoolie over there. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why. I mean, I'm at the highest point in the county. Davidson County, this particular portion is one of the highest
Well, that's
places.
probably why. See, the wind starts up there and goes downhill.
I reckon. I don't know what it is, but there was just no wind out here. I thought it was gorgeous. I got through with lunch and I was going to come home and paint because it was just a perfect day. And I come home and he's mowing and he's just starting to mow and she's starting to mow and the guy behind me's
Well-
out there in the field with a tractor mowing. I said, forget it. There's so
There's
much
no
crap
sailor
floating
trick
around.
there's no sailor trick from the sailing days to get the
Yeah.
wind to come from the direction you want it.
Uh-huh.
That's you face the direction you want the wind to come from behind you. So you're facing the same way you want the wind to go.
Yeah.
Bend over, you drop your drawers. You move that sucker. You know the wind is going to come up. Slap you right in the
Yeah. I'm telling you what. We have this has been the darndest year we've ever had. I was talking to Tommy yesterday, and this has been the darndest year we've ever had for just wind, 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 wind. I mean, ever since 1st of March, it just has not let up. And if it's not blowing, it's raining.
I got
It's
snow on Saturday. 3 inches
Oh,
of
for
it.
heaven's sakes. 3 inches.
It's all gone. It was all gone by Saturday afternoon.
We had snow a few weeks ago and it was gone by 10 o'clock, but it snowed. It honestly snowed that morning. I got up and went to let the dog out, and I opened the door, and Jack went to the back door and stopped and looked up at me like, "You got to be kidding! You think I'm gonna go out there?" He was hilarious. He would not step out in that stuff. He turned around and came back in the house. So I said, "Well, I don't guess I'm gonna win this argument." So anyhow, one of those deals. But
Steve Barry
I don't
said,
know. We're supposed to get some decent weather next week or week after, according to one of the fellows that called me today. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I just found out today Albuquerque is beautiful weather and all that. If I had the time, I would take one of my fly rods with me and go up there and try to catch some trout, but not going to have time.
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah, I'm going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and coming home Saturday.
Oh, you get on one of those trout streams there and you'll never leave.
Well, I tell you, the one I didn't want to leave was in Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You can also get
One-
grayling in Montana too. That's the only
Yeah.
place in the lower 48 state naturally occur. But we
Yeah,
got them up
I'm
here
going-
in Utah, up in the higher elevations, up in the high Uintas. They got a couple lakes there that have been planted with grayling.
Oh, I didn't know that. We're going to Alaska the end of July, and
Mhm.
I'm on 2 fishing trips. One's for salmon, but the guys tell me salmon at that time of year, they're so thick in the river, you can about walk on them.
Yeah.
And then I'm going on a grayling trip, and he said, unless you can walk a mile and a half, you really don't want to try this. I said, well, I think I can handle it. I do it every day. So
Well,
That's
I'll
what
tell you
that's,
a little, very not well-known secret
what's that?
is in a little village of Carlick on Kodiak Island
Mm-hmm.
has a run of what do they call them, steelhead,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not commercial fish, so the commercial fishermen can't fish them, and the
Yeah.
natives there catch them in their nets in their little harbor and feed them to their dogs. But I'm talking about
Oh
30 to
no.
40, I'm talking about 30 to 40 pound steelheads. The run begins
I
in
caught a 26-pound steelhead in Washington State, and that's about all I wanted on an 8-weight fly rod.
the the only way to get to Carlick is to fly in or go in by boat.
Yeah.
It's just a little village, but I'm pretty sure they have some guides in there for the steelhead season. It starts in August, the steelhead season,
Yeah.
and the guy that I knew that used to guide in there, he used to say that people get a little upset because they were sharing the river with the big Kodiak brown bears. They were fishing too.
Yeah.
But as long as you left them alone, they'd leave you alone. Unless you were catching
Kodiak
more fish than they were.
Kodiak will take a daggum salmon that is 36, 38 inches long, and he'll grab it with his claw and then grab it with his teeth right behind the gill plate and just rip the whole side off. And
Yeah.
then turn that thing over and do the same thing again, and then just throw the head and the rest of it back in the river and go catch him another one. They're amazing. But
13
anyway,
foot tall.
yeah, I didn't get close enough to really get a perspective on how big they were.
Oh, I
When I
did.
figured out he's a whole lot bigger than I am and a whole lot stronger than I am, runs a whole lot faster than I am, and what I got he think is a BB gun. So I'm gonna leave him over on that side of the river. I'm gonna stay over here, and if he starts coming this way, I'm heading for yonder truck.
Hey, welcome, Ed.
Howdy,
How
guys.
are you, Ed?
Doing good.
Or
Let's,
or should we
let's
say
get
Mr.
back to
Wasky, sir?
flying. Let's get back to flying.
Mr. Ed.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy.
That's what they called me in Asia, and that's what got the kids. So that way it's hard to forget and
So
stuff.
if you say, whoa, well, no.
We're Ed, have you ever heard of a penny plane?
Penny?
I've
A
heard
penny
of
plane. It's the top of an egg carton, and you put a penny in it for weight. And I'm bringing some
Um,
instructions and as many egg cartons as I can come up with between now and then. And we're gonna try to see if we can't get the kids doing something different.
well, FPG 9s from the AMA is a 9-inch styrofoam plate that's cut like a paper glider, and you use a penny, and we fly
I did
those.
not know about that one.
Yeah, look it up. FPG 9 glider from the AMA.
FPG 9. I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got, let me prep something, and I'm going to bring something over to show you guys.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to say hi, Stuart.
Hello, Stuart. Saw you come in a minute ago. Why did Steve jump out?
He said he's prepping something. He'll be right back to show us.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make
Oh,
a
I thought that was Ed.
I'm gonna make a public service announcement. For any of you guys who are getting phone calls like I do over and over again, there's a way to stop it. Go to Google, type in your name, and you'll see your name and phone number and address pop up a dozen times.
Okay.
Over to the right, click the 3 dots and then say remove, and then choose Y. It'll say phone number, address, whatever, and hit that and go down the list. And then it'll prompt you to remove all your data from YouTube. That's what I did today. So
And the phone calls quit coming?
well, let's hope so.
Did any of you guys get that phone call supposedly from Keith?
No.
I did. It
You
It
know
didn't
what?
sound like him come off with howdy. And I never heard Keith say
No.
howdy ever in my
I
life.
don't
No.
think so.
No, I don't think so.
There's Gary.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Gary,
Hey,
You're
Gary,
late.
good to see you, buddy.
hey, your
Yeah.
background's all misty looking.
Uh-huh.
You spraying in the house?
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here for a little bit and take mine for a walk. He's what do you call it? Determined little feller.
Is he standing there with
Yeah.
his legs crossed?
Pretty much. He's about to drive
Pretty much
Vicky
so.
crazy, so I think I'm gonna have to get up and take him for a walk
When the eyes cross,
Before-
you better get him out. in a
before I
hurry.
end up on her dirty list. I think I'm already on his, but I don't want to end up on hers.
Hold
So-
on a second there, Phil.
Okay.
Hold
I'm
on.
walking.
Oh, Ed's got something.
Let's see here. And
Oh, Superman.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
What do you think?
Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool.
The Superman.
Superman.
plane.
All right.
no, Frank.
Where's the bell crank?
This one's RC first,
Oh,
but
Have
it's
you ever-
62 inch.
Have you ever seen the racing cars that are for RC? They look
Oh, yeah.
like racing cars. You can do a big race right up in the air with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lawnmowers,
that'd be wild.
lawnmowers,
That's neat, Ed.
dog houses.
yeah, yeah.
Make anything
Yeah.
fun.
I used to have one of those, the doghouse. It was
If-
Snoopy.
If all goes well, RC Superman will be at the expo flying. And
All right.
I got another guy doing a Snoopy doghouse with quad rotors. And
Oh, that would be much
Mark
better.
Radcliffe is going to chase him with his Fokker triplane.
Oh my goodness, that'll be cool. That will be cool.
Yeah.
When I was with the show team out in Green Bay, we had a Snoopy house, and I had a ugly stick with red with the iron crosses on it and all that. The
Yeah.
problem was I flew so much better than he did, and I had to really fudge it to make it look like he was actually able to catch me.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, anyway, I'll be back in a little bit if I can.
All
Depends
right.
on whether he wants
Good
a
seeing
short
you.
walk or a long walk. If not, I'll see you Friday. Everybody have a great week if I don't get back, but I plan to get back. Oh, wait a minute. I won't be here Friday. I'll be in Albuquerque trying to get home. So I'll see you everybody next Monday. Everybody be careful. Sparky, good luck with that. It looks like it's coming well. John, I'm liable to give you a call. I'm going to try to cut those sides and make that fuselage tomorrow. And
All right.
we'll see how it works out. Talk to you
All
later.
right.
All right.
Catch you later.
Cheers.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Roy, had he made any progress on his build there?
Where do I go?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Got the bell crank in, got a sheets of center. Just realized the opening for the wing and the fuselage I had out. And the shed is about 1.5 inches too short.
Uh-oh.
So got to cut it open some more. There's a short kit. There's a foam center, all that stuff. Built it exactly like it said on the plans, but it's not there.
Oh, man.
It'll be all right. It's just a challenge.
Yeah.
I did get a flight in on the twister.
Oh, good.
Lead house needed to move a little bit.
Just
Straighten
one
up.
flight?
Just one flight. Messed around, didn't have enough fuel for a second.
Mm.
Had it at home, I just forgot to load it up. But hopefully we get some better weather.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been bad here.
Kind of like
And our
Phil,
field's been flooded twice.
where I
and
fly
Mike-
is pretty nice, but
Oh, good.
15, 20 mile an hour winds is
No. No,
not for me.
no fun then.
Sooner or later, maybe, but not right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I went through the manual for the maneuvers. I was wondering if we could do that thing together. sometime.
Actually, yeah, I got one scheduled for Thursday, if that's enough notice.
What do you know what time it is?
Yeah, let me pull it up here again. Thursday, the 24th, it'd be at noon on Central Time.
Yeah, no, I can't. Or well, wait, what's that? Our time. I think
Uh,
I'm
I,
Eastern.
I don't know. Are you Eastern or?
We're Detroit time, same as Detroit.
Oh, that's Central.
Same as that.
Yeah, that's Central. So
And it's at noon though, right? That
yeah, it's at noon.
yeah, no, I'll be I gotta go into town. So, but we can do it some other time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty flexible.
Um,
I'm going to do a international one in a couple of weeks. I don't know. Do you follow FAI rules or AMA rules?
um, well, the AMA um is this the same as like Muncie, Indiana for when we do our
Right.
um that's where the the manual came from.
Okay. Because I'm doing an FAI one on Saturday, May 10th.
What's the
Uh,
FAI? Is that like the European one?
yeah, that's the like world champ.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
lady in New Zealand that wants to go through the training. There's there's just a few maneuvers that are different, but then the scoring system is different. So
Oh, okay.
I was going to change it up a little bit for that. And in fact,
What maneuvers are different?
uh, it's takeoff and landing mainly.
You got to glide one lap after engine check.
Right. Yeah, I just downloaded the FAI control line guide, so I got to pour over that a little bit.
I know that the square eights is the big maneuver.
It's well, yeah, it's an 18K factor.
Right.
So
That's the
yeah,
one that,
so it could be 180 points
right.
if you get it perfect.
You could do some lousy round loops and make it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
on that
yeah.
square
That
eight.
K factor really well. That's why, in my opinion, sharks dominate that event now because
Because
they're
of the
optimized
turns.
for turns for corners.
Right.
You know what? Those corners are not very realistic, though. They go,
No, no, they're not. It's like they're nailed and swiveled.
If they're shaken after they make the turn, they're stalled,
Hmm.
basically.
So
Well, I
if
don't think they stall. So, Stuart, you know Len Burrell, right?
yeah,
It did they go by? He just asked me. He and Naomi just asked me if they wanted to go through the training, and I wasn't sure. He competes in FAI.
uh
Well, at
yeah, but
least he did at the World
that was only
Championships
the
last
world.
year.
So he doesn't I don't yeah, that was only the worlds at one time.
Okay, so he's not taking off for Australia or anything
No,
next
no,
year
no.
FAI around here, Steve, happens once every 2 years.
with the team trial.
Right. That's it.
Right. Yeah. So it might be worthwhile to toss that in a little bit uh, if anybody wants to judge at the team trial. Wouldn't take too long to highlight the differences during the regular training. Yeah. Anyway, Stuart, it takes 2 hours. Uh, you tell me when you're available the next couple of weeks, and
Um,
I got my calendar open. In fact,
I could probably
yeah, any start time between 10 and 2,
okay.
and some evening. Really, I only got a couple of evenings
What about Friday at noon?
this Friday.
Hold on. No, I got to get my car in. Um,
What day are you out, Lord Steve?
What day? What?
What day are you elf lord?
Every other Sunday and Friday night and Wednesday night.
You know what? Send me on the chat box here, chat box. Send me your email, and I'll email you.
Yeah,
Um,
email me some options.
yeah, this week's a little busy, but
Yeah,
uh,
that's fine. I'm retired, so
yeah,
I got some stuff I do on a regular basis, but
okay. Just send me your email then, and then we'll go from there.
okay, I sent it, Stuart.
Okay, thanks. Oh.
Wow, that killed the conversation.
Hey, where's the real Steve Smith? He hasn't been on for a while.
No, he hasn't. I don't know how to explain this without it sounding negative, but he goes from one thing to another.
Oh, okay.
But when he goes with something, he's all in.
Yeah, yeah, I could tell
Well,
that.
last summer, spring, whatever, he started going bass fishing with his dad. They have, I don't know, relative or somebody has property somewhere that they can fish. So he's all into that now. I
Well,
haven't
that's
seen
not a
him. I
bad
haven't seen
thing.
him at the field or anything. He's
There hasn't been
Well,
much
I
collecting
guess it
though.
depends on how hard the bug bit him as far as control line. Whether
well, it did
he'll be
for a
back.
while.
He may be back then.
I hope so. I mean,
Me
he's
too.
done. I've been to his house. He's done everything. He did RC cars, indoor and outdoor. He did RC boat, helicopters. Uh, God, I don't know what else. Just a little bit of everything he's gotten involved in, and he goes all in when he's into it.
Yeah.
But there's
Gordy's
nothing
kind
wrong with that. That's just the way he is.
yeah. Gordy's kind of the same way, you know. When
Ah, okay.
he took up bowling, all of a sudden
Oh,
he was bowling 3 times a week,
mm-hmm.
and he was a switch because he's originally a left-hander, so he could bowl left or right, and he was
Wow.
real quickly got up to like 225 to 240 average, you
Uh-huh.
know, and then about a year and a half later, why he was calmed down on it. And now one of the latest things is he got into guns and reloading and all that,
Yeah,
and he and actually it's probably if you're going to get into something, you might as well get into it good
yeah,
instead of halfway.
yeah. Well, Bob and I lost a guy to the guns and loading here in St. Louis. He used to fly here, and we haven't heard from him in years.
He's still alive?
We don't even know. I don't know.
Hmm. Well,
Cool. You
He
guys were
dropped by
saying,
Booter one time a couple years ago with his shooting buddies, but that was it.
He
you were
usually calls me, so I think he might have passed away.
I do too, because he doesn't send me emails anymore. He used to forward, strange little emails occasionally. Anyway, what's up, Stuart?
when you guys were talking about, it sounded like with us, was it the shark or something you were just talking about minute or two ago?
Yeah.
Uh, my twister when I go up, and it seems to kind of go like this
Mm-hmm.
You're over
on
controlling
meters.
it.
Yeah.
I'm pulling too hard on it.
I think so. Yeah.
most
I
likely.
I do that too.
Okay.
From from a judge's perspective, it's almost better if everything's nice and straight and there are no wobbles
Yeah.
than that if the if the angle, corner is a little softer.
That's why Liu Zhang's pattern was so pretty. It was smooth
Yeah.
and the right size and square. I mean, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you give up, if I remember correctly, the nose wants to yaw out because of the factors going on with aerodynamics. And when you give it down, the nose wants to yaw in. That's why the Ray rudder came about.
Oh.
And so, a lot of us are setting our planes up with 0 on the rudder.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, though, you might want to have a little, if you can, a little out thrust, maybe 1 degree,
On the engine.
on the
On the
engine,
motor or the tail?
on the motor.
I
Better
just
on the.
I just did that with my just a couple of weeks ago. I cut the rudder off and straightened it instead of giving a fair amount of offset. So I was wondering if that jiggle through the corner could be partly because the rudder's too
Is.
much.
It probably is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steve, does your Spectre wiggle like that?
No.
It's got 3 degrees motor offset.
But no rudder offset.
No,
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
it's airfoil.
Yeah.
There's Carl Reed and Mark Gerber.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
pretty
Howdy.
good. And you?
We're here.
Oh, hanging in there.
My cousin, how are you?
We got any updates, Mark?
Oh, a few.
All right. Yeah, I'll send out that invite for Thursday, Mark. I'll send it out by Wednesday.
Okay. You're talking about the Zoom?
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
judges training on Thursday.
Okay, great. So I started putting finish on my Bearcat,
Ah,
but I don't have any pictures of that yet. Not much to show. But I've been doing the final sanding and filling, and you see, I use this Elmer's natural wood filler, and I like it. It works pretty good because it dries real fast and it sands easily, and it blends right in with the balsa wood.
Are you
so
going to
you
make the
use
fillets with that?
No. I'm
no,
gonna
you're using it on those joints.
well, see, like right here where there's a little depression in the wing, I just put it
Yeah,
in there and smooth it out and sand it. Same thing back here that I had the seam.
Okay.
Elmer's natural wood filler.
Yeah, this stuff.
Oh, it comes in a jar.
It's a 4 ounce. Um, is the smallest size they have. They have a lot bigger ones if you want to.
Now, don't use that if you're going to use dope.
No, I'm
Uh-oh.
not going to use. I'm not going to use dope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dope,
well, there you go.
dope softens it.
Well, I had a really nasty surprise.
Mm.
I just got a new batch of it, and instead of being natural colored, it's pink.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
Until it dries.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I opened it up and I thought, "This something's wrong with this stuff." But then I did some Googling and I read up on it, and I said, "Well, after it dries, it's supposed to go back to the natural color." So and I carefully read the label, and it says color change on it,
Ah,
which I hadn't noticed before. So I put it on there. See how it's easy to see it now.
yeah.
And when it dries,
Huh.
it's
Yeah.
the same color.
How about that?
Then you sand it out, and you're good. So
Now,
I was told to
dope,
use this stuff.
I can't see it. Ed, we got to. We make Ed big for a second so we can show
you
it.
know what do you got in?
That's Minwax.
Yeah,
Color
I was
changing.
told to
Okay.
use that. I'm not sure about compatibility, but I ran
It's like
into
the
what he
same
did.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
bloody
Yeah, it
pink.
does.
It's
Yeah, I
bloody
bet it
pink.
is.
And it dries to look like balsa.
now, if you guys are going to use dope over that, you can get away with it if you take thin CA and wipe the skin over the top of it and then prime it. It'll won't soften. But I'd be very skeptical using that stuff with dope.
Anyway, it's awful heavy, so I don't know if I'm going to use it anymore or not. But
So dope interacts with it chemically?
Yes,
What's the name again, Mark, on that? I'm gonna pick some of that up.
Superfil.
Homer's, is it?
Elmer's.
Wood filler.
you went the interior version. I haven't tried the exterior version. I've always used the interior.
That's a Home Depot special, right?
Well, I was having trouble finding it, so I ended up ordering off of Amazon. That's how I got this pink
Yeah.
stuff,
Hmm.
which says color change on it. Like Ed was showing the Minwax version of it, I guess.
Sounds like it's the same stuff.
So
Yeah, it looked like it.
Containers look pretty much the same, so
yeah,
somebody.
the containers are. I didn't even notice any. I didn't notice that color change label. I just unpacked the jar and put it on the table and opened it up, and I saw it was this pinkish color. It's like, what's going on here? So anyway, hopefully it won't turn.
The stuff
again.
that the stuff that they told me to get was one of the control line scale guys, and I know he does nothing but dope finishes. So I'll have to clarify that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I've had bad luck with stuff like that.
So what does it do if it gets softened?
Lips right off.
Oh, it lifts off.
Yeah.
No, I used it on my first Bearcat more than I did on this one. 'Cause I had more features I had to fill in. But it's pretty heavy stuff. I was weighing some of it the other day, and it's really heavy.
What would happen if you mix a little bit of epoxy with that as you put it on and then let it dry?
I don't know. It might be even heavier, but it probably wouldn't come off.
Probably be hard to sand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, my other project, I've got this Fire Baby that I picked up, and I'm gonna get it in flying shape and take it out to the nets, and maybe some evening we'll go out to the L pad and have a little fun.
Oh, yeah.
fly it in old time.
No,
Yeah, there you go.
What's the motor on that?
well, that's the story I got here. This is a K&B 049
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
from like 1950,
yeah.
geez.
and it has virtually no compression.
No.
No.
Wow.
Does it run though?
I'm going to take it off and put a Cox Baby Bee on it, and that's what I was doing here. There it is, the
Huh, look at that.
K&B.
Looks like a Wenmac in a way.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
doesn't it?
It's got this bizarre feature. You see this hole in the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where you mount the fuel tank. It's a threaded hole. And here's the ad. But here's the diagram. Can you see this?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Well, it's for
The
free
fuel
fly.
tank that you can screw underneath it. And then I guess you run a hose from the tank up to the intake up here.
I think that was for free flight.
So that was really strange. I didn't get the tank. I just got the motor, and then I discovered in trying to put on the Cox 049, there are 3 different models for this mounting plate.
Hmm.
And I got the one for the original one for the Cub. So I had to drill some holes in it. I didn't have one for the Cox Baby Bee. So I had to drill some holes in it, but I got it on. So
There you go.
there we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better looking motor.
Nice and shiny.
So I still got to do I got to patch and put some CA in the wing here, and I got to make a push rod for it. That
Yeah.
disappeared somewhere.
Yeah. Get some appearance points for it, right?
Yeah.
Not
So-
shiny enough.
Hey, this is my other little project on the side I was doing. So
What's the size of that prop, Mark?
this is a 6.3, I think.
And how long of a lines would you run on that?
Oh, probably 30 feet, 35 feet, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like he had some nice Dacron lines and a handle that came with it.
I'm gonna throw those away too. Use some Spectra.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Spectra. Why don't you just use those old cotton lines to make it really authentic?
Yeah. Probably rotten by now.
yeah, I haven't pulled on them to see if they're strong or not.
Not good.
Looks good, Sparky.
Yeah, come out perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Really nice, Sparky.
Cut this off and then mold up the top. This is the mold. This is a skin here.
So you haven't actually made a wing yet?
This is part of a wing here. This one.
That's a half a wing.
Yeah. That's the bottom. This is the top.
Okay. And the bell crank's not going to go in there. It's going to be in the fuselage.
Bell crank will be in the wing.
Oh, okay.
The wing's only 1/2 inch thick, so it's rather tight in there.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
There's Mike. Looked like caffeine was trying to get in. Then
He was, yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Mike who?
Lucky.
Monkey.
Oh, Lonky.
Did Triple Tree happen yet, or is it still coming up
This week.
this week? When's it start?
I don't know. I just saw Rick Campbell was signed up for the judges training. He said he couldn't make it this week because he was going to Triple Tree. So I don't know
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
exact
I did.
days. Oh, there's Mike. Hey, Mike, did you see what I got here?
I was watching a little. Who's talking?
Mark.
What do you got? I saw a fire baby, I thought.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I said.
there
I'm
you
going to
go.
bring that to the nest. We can take it to the LPAD some evening and
Awesome.
have some fun. So,
Well, you didn't want to put the little rubber balloon tank in it that came with him?
no.
I don't blame. I got something for the gnats too, man.
Just broke it.
Oh no.
Oh, the rubber bands fell off. I might have showed you these when I got it. That's the
Oh, yeah. Cool.
big
Hold
one
on a
Mac
second.
F51, the blow molded plastic one with the Win Mac on it.
Huh.
Cool.
Brand new, never been flown.
That's got a really long nose.
It does, yeah.
Is
But,
it aerobatic or no?
No. I think it's going to be like swinging a rock on a string.
Exactly. I was
okay.
just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's never been flown because it's not broken, you
Is it
know.
landing gear?
Yeah.
But I'm going to short line it and fly it on the L pad and just keep it, a foot or two off the ground when it gets ready to quit, so it doesn't break when it lands. And try to grease it in. I got it on Marketplace for like $60, and I'm going to fly it, and then I'm going to clean it up and sell it to somebody. That's what I'm bringing, Mark.
Too bad you don't have the box for it.
I know, right? Yeah, if I had the box, I wouldn't be flying it.
No, you could sell it on eBay for $500.
Yeah. Probably can sell it as is like that on eBay for 300 to 500.
Yeah, I think it would probably fetch 200 to 300. Yeah, even without the box. But you know what? I want to get a good video of it, man, because I've searched high and low for all the ready to fly plastic stuff, and there's a lot of stuff out there, but I have never seen one of those on video. So the only reason I'm doing it is so we can video it, get a flight, get it on YouTube, and then it'll be there forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do people really pay that much money for those?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Here's that way.
Oh, eBay's crazy.
Well, yeah,
I sold.
I see the high prices like on Stukas and PT19s and some stuff similar to yours, but I didn't think anybody with the right mind would pay that much money for it.
I got a new inbox 80s Cox PT19 at Perry, Georgia last year. I paid $80 for it, and I sold it to a guy on the Cox buy and sell page for $250.
Mm.
It was
More.
it was still in the shrink wrap.
Wow.
It was still in the
Gee
shrink
whiz.
wrap. So
Probably
the
could've
only,
got more.
well, what's my wife say? Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You know, I tripled my money on it. I bought it for 80 and sold it for 250. I tripled my money. I'd say that was
Yeah.
pretty good. But the
Yeah.
only deal I made with the guy, he had to let me open the box and video the opening because I didn't want him to say, because it was in a shrink wrap. I didn't know what was in the box.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
It could have been a box of garbage that somebody resealed, you know. And I said, listen, I got to open this thing before I ship it to you. So we both know. So we did a FaceTime call and I opened the box right in front of him. And it was all there just like it was supposed to be. Because he wasn't concerned about the shrink wrap being on it or not. So, but some collectors are like, I want the shrink wrap on it. But then
X-ray it.
you open yourself up for all kinds of garbage then because they could say anything was in the box, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Carl, people do pay stupid money for that stuff, and I'm always on the lookout for any of that stuff just to flip it and make a profit on it, you know.
Yeah, the highest price I saw was I think it was a brand new Stuka, the black one, going, and the list price was $9.99. I go, come on, there's nobody that's gonna pay that much money for that, but you confirmed that they do. So
Well, they're
What,
going
what,
for
what is the going price
225
on a
for
Cox
4 1/4.
TD1?
Here's a double box one for 404, 290 on one that has no box.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
Mike, what's the going price on a Cox TD1?
Oh, in the jewel case, I mean, guys ask 200, 250, but honestly, plenty of guys sell them for 150, 175 in the jewel case. If
No,
they're
I'm
out of
talking
the
about the
case,
TD1. The TD1 was ready to fly.
oh, the TD1. I thought you were talking about the TD010. TD1s, I mean, with a box, yeah, $300, $400, $500, $600. Sky's the limit on those, man. Because again, that was an injection molded plastic airplane, and they just
Well,
you
it
feel
had
them once
it had metal wings.
and
Look
they
at the
break.
price on that one. Click on the link and look at the price of that.
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, that's what he's
Oh my
asking.
God. Yeah, that is crazy.
He won't ever get that.
What's the price?
$900.
It's
TD1.
$649 US, but
Yeah, he won't ever get that. I mean, that really like 350 is top of the mark for a PT 19. Where am I?
Wow.
I was at
Well,
a
I
party.
think all those things I used to have that I don't have anymore.
Yeah, I was at a party about 5 years ago, and I was talking to this guy I guess he's in his 60s. And he asked me what did for a hobby, you know. So I started telling him about our stunt activities, and I said, "Did you ever do that when you were a kid?" He said, "Oh yeah, we used to have this Stuka. We used to fly around circles." I said, "You still got it?" He says, "I don't know. It might be my brother's house." And I pulled up eBay and I showed him how much the Stukas were going for. He quick got on the phone with his brother. He says, "You still got that?" So I don't know whatever happened with that, but he was all excited about trying to run it down.
You could have bought it from him for $50.
Well, he was in Arizona, so
Oh, you didn't know any better.
I could have walked down the street and picked it up. It'd been a different story.
Yeah.
That message box is up. How do I get rid of that?
A little
Cover-
X in the upper right corner.
No, there ain't one. It's covering damn near my
Gone
whole
now.
screen.
I've got one.
It's gone on.
Don't you hit the little square by the X at the top right?
Nope, there's not.
Nothing
isn't
there.
one.
I just
Hit
made
what
it
I'm
go
telling
away.
Hit the chat again at the bottom.
I can't. It's covered up by this message box. Like literally the whole center of my screen is that message.
Well, grab
you
it at
move
the
the-
top
can
and
you-
pull it down.
Can you move the message box at all?
Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm a techno tard. There it is.
There you go. So what else you working on, Mike?
Well, I got 10 combat planes. We got ready for Joe Null. We went out and test flew them Friday and Saturday. Everything's all set. I got to stripe them with this reinforcement tape. I forget what it's called. What is this stuff called? Burtec KPT. It's like a Mylar tape. I'm not sure what the real application is for. It's just 1/4 inch tape. But what you do is you go from the center, you do one about 3/4 of the way back to the tip, and then another one 1/4 of the way over to the tip. So you run those 2 lines there, 2 lines there, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom. And
That's
when you
like
crash
putting
this plate,
smart.
well, when these bays are so big,
Yep.
sometimes when you crash or something, you'll puncture one just from compression, from
Yep.
you know, and that tape. So what you're doing is making a grid, right? So now each one is 3 sections of covering instead of one big one. So then you got 1, 2, 3, and if it does break, the tape will stop the fast cal from ripping any further. So you end up with just a hole in one section instead of blowing out a whole grid bay.
What
So-
engine's on that airplane, Mike?
That's a 4 of 15. Yep.
So you can still get fast cal?
No,
No, you just got a supply of it.
I just finished my second 150-yard roll that I've had in 10 years. And a combat guy in the Northwest, I reached out to him and he sent me 50 feet just to get us through this summer and get us through repairs and stuff like that. But I'm on the hunt for more or for a suitable alternative. But yeah, we go through a lot of that.
What is fast cal? Just clear tape, right?
Yeah, it was made by Avery Dennison. It comes in 1 mil is the stuff, and it's got an adhesive back on it. So yeah,
How
it's
wide is it?
it's pretty light. It's
So
pretty,
wide. How wide is it?
Oh, how wide? It's a 3-foot roll. I mean, 3 foot long, 36 inches, and then however many.
220 feet long.
What do they use it for? Packaging?
Sign making.
Go to
It was for laminating signs and stuff like that. The thing that makes FastCal so special is that it has an adhesive backing on it.
Right.
Mm.
It comes on paper, and when you peel it off, it's already got the adhesive on it. There's plenty of other. I mean, the stuff the Russian guys use. This isn't FastCal. It's some type of 1 mil mylar. But they use an adhesive glue that they paint the glue onto the structure, and then when you heat it, the glue makes it stick.
Have you tried fast signs?
I haven't yet because I'm not absolutely in panic mode right now because I'm not completely out. I got another 50 feet, so I'm good through this season, but it's something I definitely need to get on next year.
If it's used for signs, I would bet that some sign manufacturer like Fast Signs sells it. And that's kind of like everything. These Brewline filters we use. Those are just filters for some type of, I don't know what, some type of restaurant equipment. And those boots are hydraulic actuator boots.
Okay. Yep.
Somebody's put them together and made a Brewline filter. Well, just like your fast cal, if it comes from a sign shop, if it's used in the sign industry, they're still making signs, so they got to still be making that.
Yeah, the problem is to get them into the control line world, somebody's got to buy 500 of them because that's how they always sell that stuff,
So what I'm saying is it's called fast cal, but that's not really the name of it. It's called something else in the sign industry. If you can find out what that name is And I'll do a Google search for you to see if I can find it. And you say it's 1 mil thick?
Yeah, the 1 mil is what we use on these and foamies, and they actually make some 1/2 mil stuff, which is really good on foamies, but it's not strong enough for these big open bays. You
Let me
know.
see if I can find it real quick. Bet I can.
Avery Dennison is the one who made Fast Cal, and then there's another company that was going around a few years ago called Rick Rama, and they were making something similar, but you had to buy 750 feet of it. That was the only way you could get it, was to buy that much of it.
Clear poly sheeting, 1 mil, 9 inch. Let's see, that's 9 inches wide, 60 by 60, called Clear Line. Let's see here.
Now you got to make sure. I've gone down this rabbit hole a bunch, Sparky. There is a lot of good 1 mil stuff out there,
Yeah.
but finding it with the adhesive backing is always the trick.
Okay, hold on. 1 mil plastic sheet, sign sheets, adhesive back. And we want to make sure we get it. There we go. It's right there, back 1 mil. That's phenolic. You don't want phenolic. There we go. In stock. U-line adhesive back sheets. Carpet protectant tape. I'll send you the link. Didn't take long to find.
Yeah, it's all on Uline.
Right. So we'll do a chat here. Mike figured out how to close his chat box down. Paste. There you go. Click the link. Got hard surface protective tape, and the guy's kicking it down the alley. Glass protecting tape, cabinet, security film.
Cabinet protection tape, is that what it's under?
No, you got carpet protection, hard face protection. It's all sticky back.
Okay, hard surface. All right. Let's see what we get here.
1 mil. Window security film.
Yeah, that's thicker.
I'm seeing 3 mil on the hard surface.
24 by 200 foot.
Let's see the cabinet.
2.5 mil on that.
2 mil.
When I put it in Google, it came up.
2.5 and 4 mil. I'm not seeing any 1 mil.
The glass protection tape is 1.6.
The glasses, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's still too thick.
What about laminating film?
Let's see the window security film. Maybe they got that real thin.
No, that was thicker.
That's 2.5. Yeah.
See if I can. I'll do it again. Cut the sides.
That 1.6, I mean, that wouldn't necessarily be a deal breaker for patches and stuff, you know?
Okay.
But sometimes, you know, if we got to cover a whole wing or something like that for a repair, that would probably put us, you know, overweight or heavier than we'd want to be anyway.
Okay. Make a turd. And you got some chips up here? No.
Oh, what did I do?
A little. There we go. Let's look at this. You got Briscoe adhesive on Amazon, but I don't know what it doesn't say what mill it is. USI Rapture standard thermal roll laminating film, 1 inch. There you go, right there. 1.5 mil USI Rapture standard thermal roll laminating film. Well, I don't know. That may not have glue on
May
it.
not have the adhesive.
I know if I look hard enough, we can find it.
Yeah,
So there's a finished one. That's, well, top's finished anyway, but can you even see that with the glare?
Oh, yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, so you end up with a small hole instead of one big one.
It's all right. Usually when they hit, they explode. So
Well,
Oh.
not always. Not always.
let's not all talk at once.
Okay.
I'm working.
What do you make your trailing edge out of on that, Mike?
Trailing edge of the airplane. This?
Yeah.
This one's carbon fiber.
Okay.
We have some older ones that have, you know, spruce spars on the trailing edge, but almost all the manufacturers now are making using carbon. The more carbon in them, the more expensive they are. There's well, we have a few that actually have carbon fiber center ribs and carbon spars and carbon elevators. But the more of that stuff you start putting on the airplanes, you know, a basic F2D plane with a wooden spars all the way around is about $50. You add a carbon trailing edge, they go up to about 60. You start putting carbon center ribs in them and carbon tails on them, they're like 80, $85 an airplane.
Yeah.
They don't fly any better, do they?
Yeah, they do. And they're tougher. They're stronger and they're lighter, so they turn better. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't get destroyed when you get the belt crank.
Yeah, and they're even putting internal shutoffs in them, which is nice because you don't have to run an external shutoff. Everything's inside the airplane, so you don't have all that stuff hanging out to get, you know, that can get caught on something or tangled up in a midair or something like, you know, the more junk you got hanging out around here. If you eliminate this whole swing arm shutoff, that's a lot of stuff that's gone. And what they do is they run a little spring-loaded deal through the belt crank where the fuel line goes through.
You guys were talking about what you flew as a kid. I want to build a Junior Nobler with a Vico 19. That's what I had when I was a kid. And
That was a good flying airplane.
I had the most fun with that airplane.
It flew well too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. I've been told. Brodek had me redo the plans for that, and I think they make Brodek has that Junior Nobler in their catalog. And I made that as close to the original as I could. I may have changed a couple little minor things, but not much, if anything.
I also had a Thunderbird. It burnt to the ground. It never did fly right.
I built one of the Thunderbird 2s, and I didn't know much about trimming, and I had a green box Nobler I was flying, and that Nobler would outfly that Thunderbird, but I didn't know how to trim the Thunderbird right. So anyway, I didn't like it. I wound up giving it away.
Mine burnt to the ground. McCoys are notorious for backfiring.
Wow.
I had a McCoy on both of mine. Same McCoy, actually.
Yeah, scared the hell out of me on a 35. I had a Super Ring Master.
Wow.
Didn't know what to do. Was going to run, but I just started blowing quickly on it.
Well, earlier you guys were talking about not wiping the airplane off. Well, that was
No.
that was what got me to wipe the airplane off because I didn't used to. And boy, it burnt to the ground. I mean, it was a hell of a fire.
How bad? What did we know back then, you know?
You can't see it either. The alcohol
No.
fire, you know, blue, and then pretty soon, whoop.
My uncle,
You see things
My-
turning black. You see the edge of the fire that it's where it's consuming.
my uncle taught me how to take a rag and put gasoline on it and clean your plane off with that.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't smoke, so we got away with it, I guess.
Wow. So Sparky, I'm looking at the Zoom meeting on YouTube.
Yeah.
We had as many as 30 people watching, but we only have 6 likes. I don't get it.
They don't like us that well.
I must have
Well,
said
why are they
something
still
bad.
watching?
I must have said something bad, huh?
These meetings don't do too well.
As Steve Barry said, I'm still here.
Well, I'm wondering because it looks like they're doing pretty good with meeting. I don't know if they've got a meeting like this, but with meetings over on Facebook and other places. So there's got to be some interest out there.
I haven't seen anything like that.
I haven't.
I
either.
guess Mike does.
No, we don't do meetings.
Oh, okay.
Nope, we don't do any live. I mean, people do live videos and stuff, but we don't have anything comparable to this over there.
Oh, okay.
There's already this. We don't need another one, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't want to host it.
There's only so many old guys to go around.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I think they all subscribe to you, Bob. All 4,700 or 720 of us.
I still think we ought to try to turn this into an Olympic event.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
I mean, they got, you know, I mean, I used to play golf, but golf, if you don't understand it, if you don't know, it's kind of like watching stunt contest.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on, but you know the people that are announcing it are doing a pretty good job of educating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the most
I
exciting
never.
sport is curling.
Oh God.
Hey, there you go.
I could never watch golf on TV, but my dad did. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like watching paint dry.
I'm kind of the opinion I made. It's kind of half in jest, but I think it's kind of a truth to it. Is that if this sport became an Olympic sport, with the exposure that you get from there, we might see a resurgence of it, since it's a lot like playing golf. You know, there's never been a perfect flight. There's never been a perfect golf game.
Mm.
I mean, the perfect golf game would be the guy had a score of 18 when he got done.
Impossible.
Have any of you ever seen that movie, The Legend of Beggar Vance, I think it's called?
I've
Heard
seen
the title,
excerpts
but
of it.
Well, in that movie, the caddy statements made that golf can't be won; it can only be played.
Yeah.
I guess Caddyshack is my favorite golf movie.
What
You
was
just
that?
like the scene with him in that room with that young girl. That's what it is.
No, actually, I
Oh,
like
no.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
No, the best
My
part of
favorite
that
golf-
movie is is when Bill Murray goes and blows up the golf course and that little gopher sticks his head out and starts dancing to the music.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite golf movie is Tin Cup.
Yeah,
That
that's
was a
another
good
good
movie.
one.
That was good. Rodney Dangerfield was mentioned. What was that one? Back to School or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I still like his stand-up routine.
Well, it was so cool when the guy was talking and that professor was talking and he was saying, "No, you got to do it this way and this way," and you
Yeah.
got it all backwards.
Hey, Mike, do you have any Nelson plugs?
I have about 150 of them.
You going to Brodak?
I am not. Well, I shouldn't say definitively no. Our plan is to skip it because it's a team trials year and we have F2D in Kansas City in June. So it would be hard for us to do both. But what we did that one year was we just came up to Brodax for Thursday for speed limit and half a stunt, and then we turned around and came back home. We only went for one day. So that's an option.
I got this motor right here. This was Rusty Knowlton's. And from what I gathered, it's been breathed on. It's got a Nelson head and a Nelson plug and a Nelson liner and piston. Yeah, obviously, it's not going to beat a 4.0, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in there because that's what this project was originally started for. And I'm not sure whether this plug works or not. What do you use? One of those old clips on there? Because my regular igniter won't fit on it.
Yeah, you got to use the old school RC,
Cock.
not Cox. You got to use this right here.
See here, hold on a second.
Sullivan.
The spring clip.
You got to use one of these, Sparky.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got one.
And actually, I'll show you this too because these are slicker than snot. Bill Maywald is bringing these in from Italy. These are glow igniters that plug into either a 3S or a 4S LiPo battery. Got your on-off switch. It's got a resistor in there. It'll jump the current up if you need more for your plug, but it won't burn it out. So if your plug's flooded, it'll throw a little more current at it to, burn off the fuel. These are really nice, and I want to say they were only like, I don't know, $22 or something like that. You can't even get this for less than $10 somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sparky, I got Nelson plugs. You can get them from Bob Mears on eBay. Henry sells them. So the original Nelson plugs that Henry made are no longer available. There's just existing stock. But the Italian guys started making them, the Italian F2D guys. The only difference is they've got a different hex on them than even the original Nelson plug. It's a different size hex on the head.
Metric.
Actually, I think it's English, believe it or not.
That works. Oh, God.
Yeah. Man, I'd have to measure to be sure.
So it's crescent wrench.
Oh, God. Shit, I don't know where my stuff is.
It's crescent wrench. It's not Wentworth.
Well, you can't really get down in there with one.
Can on this one.
Oh, well, if you can get in there with a crescent wrench, then you're good.
I don't know. It might be a 10. It might be a 3/8.
Yeah, so they're called Blue Line TCA Racing Accessories. These are the Italian ones. And like I said, the hex is different than the ones that Henry made. The seat and the threads are the same. It's just the hex size is different on them. And I don't know. I think they're going like $12 a plug now. But me and a couple of the Detroit guys, we went straight to the factory and we ordered 500 of them and split them, and we were able to get them for like $6 a piece.
There's
Doing
no
it that
crush washer on this. Are they supposed to have a crush washer?
No, that's what it's got, a tapered seat.
Okay.
And then if that's got a Nelson head in it, it should have a tapered seat as well.
It does. It does.
Yep, that's all you need, man.
So I guess this is a hot Cox. It's redone by Henry.
Is it a Conquest you got there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they were
I
they were
wish somebody
popular
wouldn't
back
have.
in the day.
I wish they wouldn't have ground the port off the back though. I tell you, look at this, Mike. Let me make me big here. Spotlight. See, there's the head. But look what they did to the exhaust port. They ground the exhaust port off. I
Yeah,
guess.
you
So
can't ever put a muffler on it.
right. Or a pipe, but you know, a mini pipe. Whatever. And they're getting ridiculous money for those on eBay.
Yeah. Why are you stripping that one? Just a little extra. Because you need it, because you tear everything up.
Yeah, against you.
I want to thank I'm going to end the live stream on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please go over there and hit the like button. I mean, we got 30 watchers and only 6 likes. Give me a break. Go here now. And we want to go here. Live. I want to get in here.
Yeah, going up there, put it behind or something.
So please like, subscribe, and share. Hey, we got someone here. Let me read this chat here.
Oh, shit.
I'm so good.
Sorry, forgot to hit the like button. Okay, I also had a Junior Nova with an Enya 19
I'm not
no feed pipe. It flew at the Canadian National Exhibition Model Airplane Contest in 7. Bill Downer. All right. We are out of here. You can find us over on Stunt Hangar if you'd like to join the after party. Oh, we got 26 likes now. That's good. You guys caught up. So I thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow. Fair wind, tight lines. See ya. All right, we're off of YouTube.